Can you tell us a little bit? You've had this disease for over about 23 years, you said. And can you share with us in terms of the struggles you had before with your symptoms on a day-to-day basis, going to work, dealing with work, keeping a job, keeping a lifestyle, to now, and how that transitioned, especially maybe throwing in your mindset of maybe being frustrated before to where you're at present day?
Sure. Well, 22 years is a long time to cover. So there's no consistent way of thinking and feeling throughout throughout over 2 decades. But there were times where I felt okay and good because like this, in the nature of this disease, there are times of remission and flare and all things in between. The times, I think there were very extended periods of times that were probably the most frustrating, where I was kind of on the fence in terms of how I felt. And I maybe kind of insecure about my health, especially with the work I was doing, going overseas, traveling around, doing all kinds of things, and not being able to disclose to anyone that I had a health issue, because I just would have been grounded. I would have been grounded. It would have ruined my career. So I couldn't tell my boss, why I was sick or why I was, I was taking things like prednisone, and I was, like sweating excessively and not sleeping and feeling irritable. I had to just do everything in my power through my will to suppress any type of suffering I was going through, whether it be disease related or medication related. I was very frustrated throughout those years just because I felt like I had no one to turn to, and I've been burned a number of times seeing different naturopathic doctors and being kind of let down by Western doctors. But at the same time, I'm very adamant about following Western doctor rules. Just because I feel like there's some good elements to it, and it might be the safest bet in certain instances. So ultimately I felt very kind of physically, I felt kind of always sort of subpar for the most part. There were windows of where I felt fantastic, but then there was long stretches of windows, or then there was other short stretches of windows where I felt very, very ill, and it was very evident I was sick. There was something I had to take time off work, going to short-term disability for a week or two here and there. And then there was the tough part, the toughest parts were when it was in the in-between, being well enough to go to work every day and do your thing, but feeling kind of miserable all the time because, life is hard enough. But then on top of that, you have all these terrible symptoms of Crohn's disease that just are so painful and so embarrassing and
Right.
inconvenient. And so that weighed on me emotionally, psychologically for decades. And that has its effect on an individual. But now that I've gotten in better control of my health and I'm taking necessary protocols to get better, I'm not going to say the pressures disappear because you have to kind of maintain, but life is a hell of a lot easier to go through when you're feeling better. And that's one of the biggest benefits I'm enjoying right now, is that I feel better. So all these things of life that I have to deal with as being an adult, it's a heck of a lot easier.
Great. And I think that gets to another point too, that with you improving your symptoms day to day, do you feel like you're more empowered to go into the future?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, because I feel like I have options, and it's also nice to know that I have both you and Dane to reach out to in the event that, like again, there's certain things that were originally prescribed to me that I don't take because I'm feeling better, but I know they're in my home pharmacy. I can kind of go, I can have them immediately. I have them with me, and I know I can like restart certain parts of the protocol at any point in time if I'm feeling symptomatic, as opposed to being like, okay, I got to call you, I have to make an appointment, I have to figure it out. I already have all of our, because a part of our meetings were, you, me, and Dane would discuss options, and then you would document as a scribe and take notes. And I kept all those notes in a drawer, the same drawer I keep all the supplements in, and then the other half of the supplements in the refrigerator. That's I like the fact that I have that, and on top of that, I can always recontact you guys, when I get sick again, and be like, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm currently taking, what changes should I make, or should I just keep on doing this for extended period of time, check back in. So that brings me a lot of comfort.